point. So, because you are all here, I think it's quite unwise that if I don't give you something, it make your whole journey more exuberant and more meaningful. So, I want to ask you that what would be the very best thing if I just share with you next few minutes? Maybe precisely, I would say 12 minutes if I say. What would you like to have from here will become the most significant value for you? So what would you like to share with you? Silence? That's the biggest thing.
Something more on executive coaching.
Something more interactive. Okay. Now, first, let's understand the word executive. Who's an executive in your mind? It starts from without C and then with C. It's a very wide range. So, like life is a very big term, executive is even a bigger term. So, when you want to approach executive, know that who is the executive and what am I offering to that person? What that person would want. So, no matter the person who has the last term or last word in the executive attached. So, what do you think? What is the person looking for? What is he wanting?
Growth.
Execution.
Execution.
So, what they need is when they don't know how to execute things, they end up in execution. Okay? So, that's what is happening. So, just for the sake of wanting, they are killing. Then the base of the so they have a killing instinct in them. So they talk about a killer kind of phrases. They use it, and that's where what is the first it gives to them. When somebody uses it, have a killer instinct, killer phrases, and want to every day do things. What's happening?
They get a dominating and autocratic.
Yes. So what is doing to them? When they do it, what it does to them?
They get rigid.
They get rigid.
They get stubborn, adamant,
Aggressive. Very
They
aggressive.
will
Explore more. They
And-
are fixed to that thing.
Yeah.
They cannot explore more than
They are
that.
exploring more.
and
Fixed to that.
not willing to listen to others. Okay, so they become very difficult as individuals.
Right. So now you find out that with all this happening, what is their lost side? And that's your offering.
Okay.
Then next part is what do you want to gain side. But first address the lost side. Now what are they losing is in fact, so most executive has one very powerful trait which they think is very powerful. So what do they do every single day to sustain themselves or to keep occupying their position? They think they're doing something very good, and they every day do something for that. What's that? What do you think? What comes to mind? What do they do to keep themselves up and sustain themselves in that position?
Deliver to the task, multitask first of all.
Deliver to the
Deliver each. I mean,
yeah, but
whatever.
what do they do themselves to keep themselves in that position, to hold themselves there? What do they do
Objective
themselves?
oriented. They plan better.
Now, I don't know better,
I mean,
but they at
of
least
course.
attempt to plan better.
Yeah.
But they stuff their mind with lot of things to create a dominance. What they lack most is delegation. And what they do most is like they keep stuffing. So every single day they walk back home and they stuff something inside their head, like a very influential father who wants to next day prove the dominance to their own kids. So they walk rich that I know little more than what you know it. So in every single attempt, they want to prove to the person, see, I know better. So this is in their head somewhere. Now, lack of delegation and stuffing their mind with levels, several skills, several things which they want to prove to others, and in fact, they want to give it in everything. What it does to them is they finally lose their presence. So the executive presence is what is needed, and any coaching which an executive needs is building around this presence. So that what does presence here mean? Many of your parents? How many of your parents here? Good. Quite number of your parents. When you walk out from your home, what do you think kids behind you talk about every instruction that you give them? What do they say?
They forget about it immediately. They don't talk about it at all.
Mama said
They forget about every instruction.
That's all. Mama
that word.
Whatever you say. Okay. So no matter what tips you give them, let's say if two siblings are there, the moment you walk out home, one wants to flout every single rule that you have laid down there. So whatever you say, don't do this, they say let's do that. So what do you think? Is your presence they are feeling or their absence you are feeling?
Feeling our absence.
Absence. So if your presence leaves behind an absence of you, it is never a presence. Real presence is when you leave the place, you become fully present. But in your presence, they display full absence. And in your absence, you display full presence. Now, if you can do this in the life of an executive, that's what they are looking for, but they are not knowing it that this is what they are wanting. So, the fear of if I am not here, I'm absent there, and the mind knowing that now something is going amiss there, just keep them haunting here or there, and now they want to be at every place which they can't. Now, I will just give one tip of and one case, which is half built up, half metaphoric, and little like a case story that some of you are from the Birla group or may have been in touch with that. And this is a style of management the Birla displayed as an executive presence. And there is a style of management that Tata displayed as a presence. Now, what do you think that? What kind of presence Tatas have made within their employees? Both are very powerful groups. But the kind of presence that inculcate down the line, which is there as a part of the Tata's group and which is inculcated down now in Mahindra because Mahindra's father worked with Tata's and followed and it's how he's carrying few things over there and you know that what kind of presence Mahindra is making. Right? So what do you think is this kind of presence of in any executive which Tata's have made? Now both have succeeded. But both have different kind of presence. So what kind of presence Tatas have within their employees, in their group, within teams, and every executive head on the line?
It's a very integrity and benevolent culture.
The present? What does it mean? So even in their absence, the presence remains there. Now, the Birla group also made it, but he had a very different style. So Birla would, just before the breakfast would know where I would be landing up today, in which plant, and entering from which gate, and asking what question to people. So just in the breakfast, he would decide, and his plane would fly at some plant, and no one knows from which gate and to whom and what thing the person will ask. And the people are all the time ready. You understand this point? So in both the cases, both the people are always present because no one knows when he will land up and he'll ask this question. But in one plant, everyone knew that we do not know when will they come. So question is same. I do not know when will he come. Both have this question in mind, but one has from the waiting perspective the presence when will he come, and one is I do not know when will he come. Got it? And both have the presence. So individual style and the unique presence of any executive remaining. What's required to be understood is that how is this person before me is wanting to uniquely create this person's presence, so unique perspective, and not taking the executive food, but the end discipline of everything is that they want to execute, they want to create, give some delivery. The delivery is what they're looking for. So how do you create it? So one of the very good way of coaching an executive is that to whom they are delivering and what are their expectations from them, and then starting from them rather than this person. That who are the people around who will want anything, and starting that person's, building that person's presence, that in your absence, do they feel your presence, or what will make them feel your presence despite you are absent with them? Now, asking their heart, and if an executive is not ready, that your people around who are answerable to you, let they be deciding what are they looking for in him. So for executive, it's very difficult to decide that what do I have within me to understand the whys. So if an executive is willing that anyone is dealing with, anyone is interacting with, what are they expecting from him? Because he doesn't exist for himself. He exists for those people. So without taking the expectation of anyone with whom they interact, any executive coaching will go in vain. So they won't get anything. It will just end up in a personal coaching. Okay, so I'm stand up, I'm effective, but net result is no executive can survive without the people who are surrounding it. So the beginning point of the executive coaching has not to be the executive, but asking the executive that who in turn would have an expectation from you, and have you ever found that what are they wanting? So going to them and setting this person's expectation based on, and are you willing now to give them something they are wanting? So if you start from this point, your executive coaching won't fail. But if you will go to a strained executive, because the executive is strained and stressed because he's not getting the result, you'll end up only in a kind of life coaching, but it's not going to be executive coaching. And that's the first beginning point. But the another point of very powerful of executive coaching is, if you remember, what do we gave you in the charisma building coaching? Building certain qualities. And when you build a presence, anyone remember that we talk in that how do you build your presence and the some qualities, and what was the basic line for that? How do you trigger a client? And how to build the executive presence? Anyone remember?
Love, uniqueness.
Pardon?
Love, uniqueness.
Yeah, that is where it will come from.
Knowingness.
Pardon?
The knowingness and all, you cultivate that. You ask them to talk about who has inspired you the most. And all
Okay, that's the first question. Next question.
what is in them that inspired you the most?
And the third question.
So then we ask them to model it, like it's okay. What about them? And then after
What
that,
about you? What is it about you
Mm-hmm.
that you can notice that they are the way they are? What is it about you?
that
What
is
is
the
that?
knowingness.
That's the
Knowingness. Knowingness.
No, I'm not even knowing answer.
No, so so then you ask them, what if you have these qualities within you, and you see, and you can reach to your charisma, and you can reach to your you can have an aura for yourself, and you can have a charisma, create a charisma for yourself.
And what will that do? So what's the question here?
Think of a situation where you had the same.
Same. No, it's not same, but little bit twist is there. And that's where the real executive coaching opens.
So if you think about a situation when you can have these qualities within you, invite these qualities within you, and see the same situation, how do you now see it differently?
Little bit miss is going on.
What is inside you
Mm-hmm.
that you know
That's what
which,
she
which,
said.
which inspires you?
But in between one person and bigger person, but that opens up the whole kind of executive coaching. You ask that question, and the whole executive coaching opens up here. Okay, so let me ask you
Would
that.
you like to have your own charisma?
Yeah, but your question is right, but it's not focusing there. Where a person will think, what do I need within me? Okay? So I ask you this question. Do you like some people who have certain very powerful qualities and just get sold on them? Okay. What does these qualities make you feel for them?
For them.
For them. What do you think about them with these qualities?
What do I feel then if they have those qualities?
Yes,
I have respect.
respect for them. Now, what does it make you feel when you find these qualities?
I find these qualities in them.
Yeah, when you find some qualities, then what does it make you feel?
I feel enriched.
You feel enriched. Now, when it comes to working for them, do they have to ask you or you feel like working for them?
Do they? Sorry?
Have to ask.
Do they have to ask you or you love to work for them?
I love to work.
You love for them. Now the question is, what do you have or you think you must have that other would love to work for you? Do you have that?
Yes.
Now this is where the whole
Yes.
around. Okay? Now, if you ask this question, what do you think present in you and what do you think absent in you now? That your presence is absence and your absence is presence. And they will not want to have it. And now that's where if you start working within those qualities, it is not a small project. And how does it affect them? How much they are, without asking, they are willing. Not they are willing, but they are loving to be with you. That's where the whole executive project officer. And they will have to work with you. And you give them this task that how will you know and find out that they are really willing to love it, to stay with you, work for you, and how you're measuring it. If you start coaching on this aspect, that's where the normal shift coaching starts. So the shift person start looking at it so innermost layers, and then the person has to take every behavioral pattern into consideration. And then next you ask them that what kind of behaviors, forget your intention now. I know your intentions are very good, but which kind of possible behaviors will win them to work for you? And how much time will you take to align those behaviors with intrinsic traits that you have? Because you will be able to change behaviors very quickly. But until the intrinsic qualities in you start conforming to those behaviors, you will soon lose them. So they work in two levels. They start working at the behavioral and the outcome level, and they start working with the insight, what do I need to change so that these behaviors are no longer I have to manage. They start flowing from the core of my being. They start building the strong executive presence. Now, when you start working with them, and you target their presence in terms of within them, how they feel fit into. People don't fit into themselves first. Okay? And they get many fits because of this. And then they don't fit in the interactive group. And that's where they need to fit in. Now carry the same thing. So I would ask Subhash then the next thing, that what about when you go back home, how much everyone loves to sit with you, be with you, and how much you are with that. So how do you carry the presence so central within you that everyone at home now wants to be with you? So what do you need to shift there, deep inside you? And I'm not asking you to carry the bucket of roses this evening. You'll get bricks and backpack. I'm not asking you to take her shopping for that. I'm asking you what has to be within you so much present that instead of their possessions, an obsession of their being with you, you remain present. And it is a very powerful depth into it, which means, is your presence so much built in that if you are taking meal with your family and here is a call out and your work demands you and you leave it, it has to be only one good hearty smile. Honey, just back, I'm going to work. And she doesn't say, oof, sara mood kharab kar diya. If this word doesn't come in, that means you show strongly presence, even if you think you're absent. So how much you can gravitate in these two fields, that even at work, if you say, hey, dear, I'm just getting home because I just got a call, the kids need to play tennis at 4 o'clock, and this meeting is in the midst, and when you leave it, they don't feel that your absence. Now, can you create this kind of a conditions? And that's a smoother navigation and a transition that no one feels your absence, you're so much present there. And this is possible with only one thing, remember, the coach. It's not possible with anything because every human being, if you really trust, first of all, you ask yourself and ask your executive and ask yourself that, do you really trust that this person's endless, infinite possibilities and choices exist within this person? It has so much in it that it can create so much. Now, we think that all innovation and every choice only is for creating the big products outside. But we forget that there can be so much in the person which can create anywhere. It kind of that presence that it remains, no matter person doesn't remain in there. So it is not the artificial presence, it is not your facial or superficial presence, it is that your presence is being felt by people. Now if you think like this is how the Tatas have made their presence, that even if never visited any person anytime, but no one felt I have not met our Tatas. Okay. And this builds it. Is your one moment spent with your loved one, and the depth of your love and connection is so deep that the person doesn't lose that eye-full contact that you just made while saying goodbye, and the person feels your presence the whole day. Is your that eye-full presence is so much really, and that's what you make the whole difference. So how much you can turn the focus on the potential that people describe. So all executives talk about, I want to be very creative, I want to be very potential, and ask them, what does really creativity means here? Okay, are you good creative enough and create several possibilities that it can happen, and it requires them to cleanse themselves of so much of dogmas and the belief they carry about the spouses, belief they carry about the family, or the belief they have borrowed it. You know, families are, you know, the kids are, you know, the spouses are, you know, the bosses are, you know, the teams are. Big generalization on their head doesn't let the mist on an Audi car evolve. Let's say Audi car, okay? It's a perfect car, you can speed up. Even good Ferrari, huh? And you have a nice good driver, you can be in the back seat, you can drive it. Which car you have? Fortuner. So come here. Let's take driver Fortuner, huh? So he come with me and it's a left hand drive, right hand drive. You want to sit here or here? It's your driving seat, this is your driving seat.
This is my diary.
No, if this is two seats, okay?
Yes, this is your.
So you come from that door? Okay, come.
So I opened it again.
Yeah, you open the gate, so we both sit inside, okay? So here's a Fortuner, right? Okay, it's a nice good car, the AC is good, engine is good, fine?
Yeah.
So nice good tuned up, get service every time, looking brand new. Okay, now what's there? Just on the glass screen, there's a big mist. Come on, speed up.
Why? There will be an accident.
Yeah, so think about it. Just little bit mist, huh? Now this Fortuner can't run. Now, all this experience of life and the things that are happening here are just like a mist. But people are tuning up their engines, getting a car service, but every day, this mist they're carrying, okay? Families are, wife is, husband are. Now, this mist not clear, the whole Fortuner will just be standing here, okay? And it's not meant to stand and park there. You can't speed up, alright? So, if you can help people clear this mist, everything will disappear what they don't want in their life and appear what they want. That's, I can say that is the presence based executive coaching will clear the miss. Okay.
Very well, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Does it serve you? Good. So